La Dominique. A very, very popular name in Bordeaux, in Saint-Emilion, of course. Interesting place. The wines are fantastic, but what's really interesting about this place is it kisses Cheval Blanc, literally. I mean, you look at them and you got Cheval Blanc, if you're facing south, and La Dominique. And by the way, La Dominique has a fantastic restaurant. It's up above, it views everything, Petrus, La Concierge, VCC, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, going back to the wine. The interesting thing about La Dominique is I remember talking to Gwendolyn Lucas, who is the estate manager. They had this vineyard that was fallow, basically it was take the vines out, they let the land rest for a little bit before they replant. And I'm like, oh, you must be planting Cabernet Franc here because the vineyard's right next to Cheval Blanc. And she goes, no, we're not, we're planting Merlot. And I'm like, why? And she's like, well, because we're not on the gravel triangle. That gravel triangle from Cheval Blanc stops right at La Dominique. But that doesn't mean that the wine is, not, in the same context, but you gotta remember La Dominique is a $40 wine and Cheval Blanc's a $600 wine. So, but still, the wine that come from La Dominique are absolutely fantastic, and 2022, they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, sandier soils, a little more sand in the soil, right?
Yeah.
So you get that roundness. The wine's not heavy, but very tender.
Yes.
And with La Dominique, going back to tasting the wines back to the 90s, 90 La Dominique, same thing. There was a silkiness, a tenderness to the wine, almost kind of Pomerol-ish, but in a sort of way. The wine is never heavy, never in a hurry, but classy, elegant. And I think this vintage, that sunny vintage, brought a little more oomph into the wine, so it's a bigger shouldered La Dominique to me, which makes it, when La Dominique's on, it's one of my favorite wines from that neck of the woods, especially for the money.
Yes.
And I think La Dominique is on this year. It's up there with the 90, the 2000, some of those great La Dominiques of the past.
09 was a great one. So yeah, 2022 La Dominique, I think absolutely fantastic wine.
Yep, if the price is right, it's a buy.
Yeah.